we want you to understand that the dream is so easy to dream. And so you'll say the dream is easy to dream. It's so easy to dream the dream. It's so easy to find the dream and to enjoy your manifestation even before it comes. It's easy to dream, but it's not so easy to manifest it. And the reason why it's not so easy to manifest is because you dream the dream and the dream appears in your mind because you're usually in a good feeling place. You understand the laws of the universe. You're getting more and more in the state of not beating up on yourself. You're feeling easier about things. You're feeling more lighthearted about things. So you're getting ideas. The vortex is literally manifesting in the form of the daydream. So you're getting snippets of what it would look like when you have what you want. And so you're enjoying the dream, but then you get too practical too fast. You try to make the dream into something that it's not right now because you want your manifestations. You want the full manifestation right now. But the thing is, you're not ready for the full manifestation right now because if you were, then it would be here. And the fact that you're not ready doesn't really matter because you could be ready. And actually being ready doesn't take that much time. Being ready doesn't even take that much work. All it takes is just not killing your dream. And what does that really entail? It means dreaming the dream, not to make anything happen. You see, you have already done all of your creation. And so when we're talking to humans, they find it a little odd when we say things like, you've already done all of your creation, so now you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just not resist it. All you have to do is just not notice the fact that it's not here so much. And so in theory it makes sense, but the reason why it's hard is because you're used to doing, you're used to efforting, you're used to paying a price, because you don't really believe that you can just have something simply because you asked. You don't believe something can just come to you. You believe that if I have to focus on it continually, and only then will it come to me, because if I don't focus on it, then how will I expect something to come? Things don't just come. Money doesn't grow on trees. Things don't fall out of the sky. And we're saying they really do, because you could dream a dream so well, because the dream is pure positive energy. You see, this vortex is pure positive energy, which means it's non-resistant, and this non-resistant has no resistance in it. And so that when you get into the vortex, whenever you introduce some resistance, you fall right out of the vortex. You begin perceiving another frequency that's not the vortex. And so the vortex is not something that you're now experiencing. The opposite of the vortex, the knee-jerk reaction to what you're seeing. Because that's what most people are doing. They're reacting to what they're seeing. They're just reacting, and so they're not getting out ahead of it. And so, you know, it's easy to solve problems, and that's what most, even manifestations, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do processes because it's better to do a process than stand still, and all of that is okay. They're trying to fake it till they make it, and all that stuff is really good, but it is really the longer way of going about things. The easier way is to understand that there is a state of non-resistance that you can enter, which is a daydream. And as you're in that place of non-resistant, you're doing the only thing that you really need to do, which is not thwart your own connection. Isn't that interesting? Because to understand manifestation, you have to understand that you really are source energy, and that there's another part of you thinking, and you need to blend with that version of you. You need to blend with that part of you. And so when you blend with that part of you, that's your work. That's what the path of least resistance is all about. You see, everything that you want already exists, and along the path of least resistance, you will experience the full fruition, the full manifestation of your desires. You will. But the path of least resistance is not one of action. It's always one about thinking. It's always one about how you feel. It's always about one of finding your connection, because that's exactly what unconditional alignment is all about. Unconditional alignment is all about understanding that you don't need the conditions to change, because we don't want you to get into this attitude. And truly, the essence of law of attraction is not about getting the conditions to change so that you can finally feel better. You're not going to get power over conditions. You're not going to understand a piece. Then when you finally understand it, you can finally control the conditions around you. That will happen. But the only way that you can truly control what you want, the conditions, the only way you can change the conditions is by literally becoming a master of your vibration. Is about understanding your vibrational nature, and that when you change your vibration, you change your whole entire reality. You change your now moment experience. And that really is very, very leading edge. And so what do you have to do? What do you have to do in the equation that constitutes your job, which is, it is allowing. You have to allow. And so the only way that you have to allow that you want is to not doubt it. Just don't leave it out of the vortex. Allow it to be a current reality. Allow it to be this vortex that you're now sort of enjoying and that you're now experiencing. You see, by the time you're experiencing the daydream is a sign that you're in that non-resistant state, it's your sign that you're not only going to experience it, but you are now experiencing your desire. You see, that daydream, when it pops into your mind in the form of an image, it just feels really good, and you didn't create it, you received it, because you're all vibrational, so you're always receiving. So if you're creating a daydream, and you know it's a daydream because it's about an image about something that you want where you're winning, it's about you being a success. So when that's your daydream, then the power of that, the power of non-resistance is truly, there's no metaphor for it. It's like an atomic bomb compared to cleaning up thought. You see, you could spend more of your time cleaning up your thought, because that is useful it is, because you're spending more of your time, in this reality anyways. You have your sort of head stuck in this, I need to clean up my resistance in order to get what I want. But we're just saying it is leading edge at first, that you could just enter a state of non-resistance where there's no problem. Why clean up problems and spend more of your time cleaning up problems when you could just enter a state where there's no problems? Because you're not used to dreaming anymore. You were when you're younger, but someone talked you out of it. They told you it was stupid, that you were being lazy, that you were being irresponsible, that your dreams didn't matter. And then so now here you are in this reality, putting more action and not getting enough results. You see, you don't need to go right now and dig a hole. You can just use a crane, because that's what leverage is all about. If you want to, two people don't have to carry a heavy object from the car into the garage. You could just use a wheel, a platform that has wheels, and that's the leverage. That would do all the heavy lifting for you. And that's what we're saying. The universe has already done all the heavy lifting for you. So now all you have to do is basically just not have resistance, because the resistance is the only thing that's slowing you down. And the easiest way to be in that state of resistance is to be in that sort of daydreaming state. And the way that you're in that daydreaming state is because you're getting ideas. The ideas are happening. We want you to step back into this unconditional alignment where no matter what, you can always find the dream. And since the dream is enough, because when the dream is enough, let's dial back. You see, when you're dreaming, when you've mastered the art of dreaming, because you're happy where you are, you're satisfied with where you are, because the dream truly is enough. Because the thing is, if the dream truly was enough, then if the daydream, the image of what you wanted truly was enough, the visualization, the image that you downloaded, that you received was truly enough, then you would be experiencing more of your desires. In fact, most of it would have already manifested. Well, so what that means is you're in the vortex and then you're out. You're in the vortex and then you're out. You're in this state of non-resistance and then you're out. And so that's the thing, is you daydream and then you notice that's not here, and you daydream and you notice that's not here, because you're doing the daydream to make something happen. And things, it can get you far, but it's not the true leverage that you know that you can, because you know why? You really are non-resistant energy. You are pure positive energy, and to be that pure positive energy, the true essence of that pure positive energy is love, is ease, is flow, is non-resistance, is having no resistance in it. And so that's the thing that's really easy, because most people, they're not going to experience non-resistance until they leave their bodies, because they don't believe in the power of feeling good. They don't believe in the power of feeling good. They believe the power of work, and then they get tired, and then they wonder what they did so wrong, that life just wasn't going the way they wanted it to be. And we're saying they're so powerful that you could literally choose vibrations that are so off from what you want that literally torture you. Because here's the thing, you see, when you're late, when you feel lazy, or when you feel procrastination, or when you feel like bored, it's because you have chosen not to rock the boat. But the thing is, you can't stop desiring. You can never stop desiring. And many people, they try doing that. They the older they get, the more stronger their desires get, because life has not stopped calling desires from them. So their desires are getting bigger. And so instead of trying to line up with their desires, they're trying to numb their desires. They're trying to numb this dream. They're trying to take drugs. They're trying to do anything that can be taken in order to numb their desires, because wanting something that you don't believe is a worst feeling. That cross current, that split energy is awful. It doesn't feel good. It feels like you hate life itself, because when you're not in the vortex, life doesn't feel good. Life doesn't feel like you understand the greater picture. It feels like a test. It feels boring. It feels like you just want to get out of here. But you came here with purpose. You came here because you understood that you could remember who you really were. You could find your way back to your guidance system. And so what we're saying today of all days is that you can daydream. You can find the daydream, and daydreaming is the most productive thing in the world that you could be doing. The most productive thing with your time, because you could spend time, cleaning up energy, and that is good. You can find the feeling place of your desires. You can talk about why you want it, because sometimes that it feels better than standing still. It feels better than daydreaming, because daydreaming is really leading edge. To daydream, you have to first accept that there's a vortex and that you don't have to do anything right now, and that as you're receiving the daydream, you're literally receiving the manifestation. The dream is literally unfolding in your mind right now. You're seeing yourself over there. For you're always going to be out ahead of your desires. As these vibrational creatures in this physical world, you're always going to be out ahead of the manifestation. Because you're vibrational. And a good way to understand being out ahead of it is it's like, imagine when you're going to a restaurant, it's a busy restaurant. So before you get there, you're gonna make a reservation. You're gonna call over the phone and you're gonna make that reservation, and you're out ahead of that sort of restaurant experience. And in the exact same way, that's exactly what we're talking about. We're telling you, get out ahead of it. Get to the feeling of your desire. Find the frequency of it. Get out ahead of it, because most people are not doing it. They're saying, give me the reality first, and then I'll have the emotional response to the reality. And we're saying, get out ahead of the manifestation. So find the feeling first, and then once you find the feeling, then the manifestation has to come. And so that's what we're saying. We're saying when the daydream pops up into your mind, when it unfolds, it means that you're right along the same energy that will make or let's say like this, you're along the same energy when you're getting the daydream that will make your desires happen, that is already making your desire happen because you're experiencing the daydream. So we want you to sort of, step back into this unconditional alignment and be like, you know what, I always have the dream, so I'm gonna go and just do that. I'm gonna just dream. And it is irresponsible, but now I understand the leverage of alignment. Now I understand the leverage of non-resistant thought. I understand that it's not here right now, but I can find the dream. And the more I activate the daydream, the more I spend time in the daydream, there's going to be momentum, because I didn't come here to just sit around and be in the vortex. I came here for action, but I didn't come here to use my action to create things, because that's not leverage. That's trying to carry the box when there's a platform with wheels right there. That's trying to dig the hole with a spoon instead of a big ass crane. That's not leverage. Leverage is understanding that my reality, it has already been created. Everything I want is just going to come to me because I'm so worthy, because I'm a creator, because the universe loves me, and the universe has already done everything on my behalf. And there's an inner being out there who really is the other part of me who's also thinking. So I'm going to work on blending ourselves. So because the thing is, your inner being has already done all the creation for you, because you told your inner being what you wanted. So it's gathering all the ingredients. So now when you're in that state of non-resistant, you're gonna get it in the form of a daydream. And if the daydream feels good, and if you can just let the daydream and the dream just feel better and better and better and better until that dream feels not only familiar to you, it feels like the next logical step. You see, when you want something and it feels big and it feels, oh, when I get that, it's going to feel like the best thing in the world. I mean, it's going to be the best thing in the world that has ever happened to me. It's going to fix all my problems. That's not a dream that you're going to manifest anytime soon, because they're not vibration ready for it. It doesn't feel logical. It doesn't feel like, just like, getting up and getting a glass of water. It doesn't feel that level of logicalness. It doesn't feel like, oh yeah, the sun's going to come up tomorrow. And yeah, that's how we want you to feel about your desires. All of them, no matter what the size is. We want you to compare all of your desires to the same sentiment of, the sun is coming up tomorrow. That same sort of familiarity, that knowing, and that familiarity only comes from daydreaming. It only comes from practicing the frequency and being out ahead of a manifestation even before you can see any results. And so friends, go off and daydream now, because you have the permission from source energy to spend more of your time daydreaming. And we're not saying give up on your life and go and daydream. We're saying spend more time daydreaming and less time observing reality. And you don't need to solve any more problems anymore, because it's too slow. It really is too slow, and you want speed. And if you want speed, then you got to be in this non-resistant, because that non-resistant is truly where that fulfillment feeling comes. It feels like, ooh, I'm doing what I came here to do. It feels like that replenishment mode. It feels like that vortex, the true essence of the vortex. And then you're going to get those images in your mind. And we want you to know, once you're getting images in your mind, you're well along your way. Ooh, you're well along your way into the translation. By the time you're getting images in your mind, that dream is so underway that you're right on the doorstep of it. But there's that one small little infinitesimal piece, which is just don't look back, because many people they're just about to get to the party and then they turn back because they don't see it, so they get worried, they get distraught. So instead of trying to just get in that place of non-resistant daydream, instead of understanding the clues that they're getting, they're like, I don't see it, and I don't see it, and since I have this problem to solve, I'm gonna just turn back. And so they keep turning back away from where they truly want to be. Whereas if they can understand that how I feel matters most, and since I can always daydream and make myself feel however I want to feel, I don't have to control conditions. I can just change how I feel, and in changing how I feel, I change my vibration, and in changing my vibration, I change the outer reality. I change the reality that I'm experiencing. I change my entire life. And that truly is power, friends. You don't need to go and solve problems anymore. You could just go in your mind and enjoy the images of the vortex, of the things that you have already put in your vortex. And when you're doing that, you're experiencing, that is, if you do it more often, you're going to be experiencing a momentum that is second to none. That momentum is so pure positive energy, because now you're not doing anything to make anything happen now. Because if you daydream to make something happen, then you know what happens? That daydream is going to, it's almost like it's going to spit you right out. You're not going to be able to hold the daydream, and then you'll catch yourself doing it more, because the tug of war that you're feeling is your non-resistance, you're daydreaming, and then you go back into resistance, and so you're going back and forth, and so that's equaling a tug of war in you that really isn't fun anymore. And so we're saying, just go to that place where the problem doesn't exist, and that may look irresponsible to others, but you are working with the power of the universe at your beck and call here. And so get in tune with that non-resistant energy, and everything that you want not only will come, you're going to be living the greatest manifestation of all, which is happily ever after.